Good morning, Southport Middle School, Miss Stevens class. Thank you so much for joining us and having a little patience with us. I really want to appreciate your 21 video submissions. That is the most we've received all day long, so we really appreciate that. I was wondering if you guys could put your video on mute. Maybe that would help with the volume issue. Perfect. Thank you so much. And if you want to see us in full screen, then just turn off your webcam. That might help as well. And I wanted to tell you is for the entire day, we received 56 videos that were submitted by 4 schools, and 21 of them were from Southport Middle School. So thank you so much for really going above and beyond. We really appreciate it. So due to time constraints, we can't answer every single question. We have our panelists up here, and I want to introduce you, our panelists. First of all, I'll just start from left to right. We have Community Outreach Coordinator, Port St. Lucie Parks and Recreations, Robert Chenier. Then right next to him is Communications Director, Sarah Prohaska. Moving down the line is Assistant Chief Richard Del Toro. And last but not least, we have Utility Billing Connection Support Manager, Gina Lindsay. And we might have one more join us later. We're hoping they get that connection going. So we appreciate your time. And we're going to start off with our first question. And our first question is for Utility Billing Connection Support Manager, Gina Lindsay. Charlie from 7th grade submitted it.
Hi, my name is Charlie, and I'm a student at Southport Middle School, and my question for Gina Linsley is, do you have any programs to help people that can't pay their utility bills?
Hi, my name is Callie, and I'm a student at Southport Middle School, and I have a question for Gina. How does billing and customer service operate?
Thank you both for those questions. To answer the first question, if we have any programs for customers that can't pay their bills, it's always very important for us to help our customers whenever we can, especially when it comes to paying their bill. We work with all of our customers that contact us about not being able to pay, and we offer a payment extension, or we could allow them more time to make their payment if that will help them out. Another great resource for us are some of the local charities that may be able to help the customers make payments on their account. But we will always work with our customers that contact us to find a solution to paying their bill. A big part of being able to afford the utility bill is to make sure that you're doing everything you can to reduce your water use. Did you know that hand washing your dishes uses 5 times more water than if you were to use your dishwasher? And a 10-minute shower uses about half the water it would if you were taking a bath. These small changes can really add up and make a big difference on your utility bill. And in the end, you only pay for what you use, so it can go a long way in keeping your bill affordable. If you want more information on ways to save on your utility bill, you can visit our website at utility.cityofpsl.com, or you can always contact us at 772-873-6400. The question from Callie about how does the billing and customer service operate? The Billing and Customer Service Division operates from 7 a.m. to midnight every single day. We work in shifts to make sure that somebody is always there to take calls from our customers. And if we aren't answering the phone, someone else will answer the phone between midnight to 7 a.m. We know that utility emergencies can happen any time of the day or night, so it's important for us to always be there for our customers. We take about 500 phone calls every day and respond to a couple hundred emails every day as well. And when a hurricane is threatening our area, we work long shifts throughout the storm and after the storm to make sure that we can take any calls from our customers. And it's also very important for us to always work very efficiently as possible. For example, we used to have a very large room that had an expensive, huge, giant printer, and we used that to print our bills, it folded them, stuffed them, and put postage on the envelopes. But we found that we could save $150,000 a year by outsourcing that to a vendor to do that for us. So we're always constantly looking for ways to save our customers and just work more efficient. So thank you both for your questions.
Thank you so much, Gina. And I want to thank you for your time. And we're going to start off with our first question. And our first question is for Utility Billing Connection Support Manager, Gina Lindsay. Charlie from 7th grade submitted it.
Thank you both for your questions.
Thank you so much, Charlie and Callie. Those were beautiful questions. We appreciate you thinking about them and really putting some time and effort into that for Utility Billing Connection Support Manager, Gina Lindsay. Our next one's going to be a combination of two questions as well, and they're going to be for Community Outreach Coordinator, Port St. Lucie Parks and Recreations, Robert Chenier, and it's going to be Nicholas and... Well, no, he has two questions for you, so let's just make sure we get both those questions in. Nicholas has got two questions for you.
Hi, my name is Nicholas, and I am a student at Southport Middle School. And my question is for Robert. And my question to you is, how well are you improving Port St. Lucie parks? And will you be making more parks in the future?
Perfect. Well, Nicholas, thank you so much for your question. It's a great question. And actually, we've been doing a lot of work on that, so it's a great time to be asking that question. The Parks and Recreation Department has 46 parks across the entire city. We also have a golf course on the east side of the city. And we are continually evaluating our parks throughout the year as the years go on to make sure that they're operating correctly and to make sure that they have the best amenities for our residents, to make sure that they have everything that you need and want. Recently, we completed a 10-year master plan process, and the beauty of that master plan is that we listen not only to city leadership, but also industry leaders, as well as those of you in the community, to really hear what your needs are from our Parks and Recreation Department. And so that plan gives us a 10-year vision on what our Parks and Recreation Department needs to provide and where we need to go and what we need to do. And so because of that, through improvement projects currently, I can tell you that just in the last few weeks, we've started working on new playgrounds at both Charles E. Ray Park and at Sportsman's Park. We've also been installing new shade structures out at Woodland Trails. And we're also looking at and actually working on expanding the large facility for large dogs at our dog park at Woodland Trails as well. And there will be shade added to that area as well. So we're really working on some improvement projects there, and we have a lot of improvement projects also happening at our Saints Golf Course on the east side of the city. Now for new parks, that's another great question. We're putting the finishing touches on our newest project at Winter Lakes Park, which is on the north end of town, and that'll be opening here in the next few weeks. We're really excited to open that up and have our grand opening for that and let all of our residents enjoy that brand new park. And at the same time, we're also in the final planning stages of both Pioneer Park at the port, which is right along the river near the Botanical Gardens on Westmoreland. It's going to be a great place, a great destination for you to visit. And we're also in the final planning stages for our Adventure Park, which is going to be located on the corner of Cameo and Crosstown, which is going to be an exciting park. It's going to have BMX opportunities, skateboarding, zip lines, and we were also going to have a wave rider, artificial wave machine there. So we're looking at all those things in the future as well. On the west end of town, we're also in cooperative agreements and working with developers out there for larger scale regional parks, both on the west end of town in Tradition and on the north end in the Torino neighborhood. And so we're looking at a lot of different things as a Parks and Recreation Department as we move forward, and we're excited to be able to provide you those opportunities to enjoy your local parks. So we're looking forward to seeing you out there. Thanks for your question.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chenier. And Nicholas, thank you so much for taking the time to ask those two questions. Our next question is going to be for Assistant Chief Richard Del Toro, and it's going to be from Valerie.
Hi, my name is Valerie Carino. I go in the 7th grade. I'm in Southport Middle School, and I have a question for Richard Del Toro. My question is, how do you feel when you save someone's life or catch a criminal?
Well, good morning, Valerie, and thank you so much for that question. You know, every day police officers as public servants have a unique opportunity to make a positive impact in someone's life, whether it's responding to a call for service where they're a victim of a crime or if it's a life-threatening emergency. Over the last 22 years, I've had that opportunity many times as our officers answer over 100,000 calls for service a year and provide that high level of service to our citizens. And I've had the opportunity to do both. I've caught some criminals, which has made some of our victims very happy and brought some people to justice. But I got to tell you, there's no better feeling than when you have an opportunity to save someone's life. And I had that opportunity one time as a young officer, and responded to a residence regarding a diabetic emergency. A family member in New York had called the police department and said they were speaking with their mother, who was elderly and a diabetic patient, and all of a sudden their conversation just ended, and they couldn't get their mother back on the phone, so they contacted us, myself and another officer. Officer Derek Brisky responded to the residence. We checked it out, looked through the windows, and saw the mother lying on the ground, obviously in some type of medical emergency. So we broke the window. I used my ninja-like skills to climb through there, and we were able to resolve the situation and save her life. And you know, you never know how you impact someone's life. The things you do as you go about your day, whether it's smiling at somebody, helping them, or just giving them encouragement, you can make a positive impact in someone's life. And I'd encourage all the students at Southport to continue to do that. And I really appreciate your question and the time you're taking today to spend with us. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Valerie. Thank you so much, Assistant Chief Richard Toro, for answering that question. Our next question is going to be for Communications Director Sarah Prohaska, and Callie is going to be asking you a question.
Hi, my name is Callie, and I'm a student at Southport Middle School. I have a question for Sarah. What is one of your favorite things you've done in your job, and what is the hardest things you've done at your job?
Thank you, Callie. That is such a great question because when I got this question, it really made me stop and think about what we do in the communications department here at the city every day. And it really made me think about what is my favorite part of this job. There's a lot of things I love about my job. I work with a great team. We do fun things like we're the ones who are running this today. Our guys are behind the scenes running the camera. We've got social media going. We've got Melissa who works with me. But really one of the things I like most about what I do is that I can really help people by hopefully make a difference in their lives by something as simple as helping them understand an issue better or helping them get the information that they need to really solve a problem that could really affect their lives. So I help connect people to the information that they need. And sometimes getting information out of a government can be kind of cumbersome, and the language isn't really what most people are used to hearing. So we just here at the Communications Department really try to make it easy for people to understand what's happening in the government and just letting everyone know what's happening out in the community. And even if it's something as fun as there's a concert at the event center, or this road is closed, so don't drive on this road. And one of the times when that really seems to make a difference is in times of crisis. So one of my favorite times working is probably one of the most stressful times working is right before a hurricane, when people really do need information. They need to know they should put up their shutters now. They need to know, don't drive on this road because it's flooded. They need to know, don't go to this part of the city because there could be down power lines. So getting that information out at critical times, like a crisis or a hurricane, is very, very important, and it's really one of my favorite things that we do. And then the other part of your question was great also. What's one of the hardest aspects of my job? And right now I can tell you, you guys are in middle school, you all use social media. I can tell you that one of the hardest parts of our job right now in the communications department is combating misinformation that spreads at the speed of light on social media. And it's really all about trying to get the information out there ahead of time so people understand the issues before someone says something that could totally spread the wrong facts to our residents. So we actually have hired a social media coordinator who really, really helps out with that. And I encourage you to follow our social media channels, our Facebook page, our Instagram page. The Parks and Recreation has a Facebook group. I encourage you all to join that, because go to our Facebook page and you really will get the information that you need, and it's correct, and it's verified, and it's accurate. So that's one of the hardest parts I think about any communicator's job in 2020 is just stopping the spread of incorrect information out there in the world. So thank you, Callie. That was a great question.
Okay, our last question is going to be by Gabriel, And I want to introduce our new panelist. Mayor Greg Oravec is going to be answering Gabriel's question.
Hi, my name is Gabriel Thomas. I'm a 7th grade student at Southport Middle School. Are you planning on using more solar power on the Treasure Coast?
So Gabriel, got some good news for you, buddy. There is a lot of solar power on the Treasure Coast, and there's more even coming. So even though the Treasure Coast isn't one of the most populated areas of Florida, we have more solar panels than just about everybody. There's about 5 operating solar plants on the Treasure Coast, including one just to the west of McCarty Ranch, if you've ever been there. And I don't know if any other panelists mentioned McCarty Ranch while we were up here, but McCarty Ranch is a big honking park and stormwater storage and treatment area of a few thousand acres. And just to the west of that, just out even a little bit further, is a huge solar plant. And that is operated by FPL. So the city, your city, doesn't do that directly, but our utility provider, Florida Power and Light, they do, and they are serious about getting in the solar business. They're more serious than anyone else in the state of Florida about it. And they operate 5 plants, including that one. And you might have seen one if you've ever gone on a trip between I-95 and the Turnpike. You might have also seen, what the heck is that? It's like there's panels everywhere. I believe that's their interstate site is what they call it. And you can check all this stuff out online by Googling it. And so that's our utility provider, right? That FPL provides us electricity. The city's not in the electricity business here at the city of Port St. Lucie. Some cities in the world are. Our city is not. Our utility provider is FPL. They're serious into it. But that doesn't mean your city doesn't have a role. One of the things that we do is we partner with people like the Solar Energy Loan Fund, AKA SELF. This is another thing you can Google. I'm sure you're very good at Googling. And SELF, what SELF does is it will actually lend homeowners money at a low interest rate in case you want to have your own solar array. Because there are, of course, things that you can do to make a difference in this world. And one is saying, you know what, I want to use less electricity from FPL. Don't tell FPL I told you to do that. But you could put solar panels right on your house. You can make other energy efficient improvements to your home through the SELF program. And then we partner with not only homeowners like your parents or your grandparents, but with institutions like FPL. And if you've ever been to Jessica Clinton Park over on South Bend, we have worked with FPL to install covers. So it's not like a parking garage. It's more like a carport, right? It just covers your car so it doesn't get beat on by the shade. I know you're not driving. You're in middle school, but you're going to get there soon. You might have an older sibling. And I saw on your mask, it said, "How you doing?" So you're probably picking up the girls there. And someday you're going to go on a date and you're going to freaking want to wax your ride. You're going to want to armor all it. You do not want the sun and UV light beating on your car. So it's nice to park in the shade. Well, what about if the shade is made by solar panels that then powers our need for electricity without ruining the environment? How epic is that? So that's the partnership we have with FPL where we're testing them out. And I'd really like to see those more places. And I hope that we could actually make it a regulatory requirement at some point where like Publix parking lot has to have shaded parking, and that shaded parking has to be done by solar structures. Wouldn't that be great? So those are the kinds of things we need to look into the future, but how you get there is by experimenting with the technology as it becomes available. And as you might have learned in your earth science course or any of your other science courses, experiments don't always work. So I will tell you that at our Mid-Florida Credit Union Event Center, aka what we might know as the Civic Center, Sarah Prohaska, one of Sarah's tough jobs is trying to keep me in line. But at the event center there, earlier when it was constructed around 2008, we actually worked with the federal government to install one of the largest solar arrays of its type on a building. And as it turned out, that technology wasn't as long lasting as the traditional panel. And so it's not functioning today. It was a film technology versus kind of the rigid panels that you see. And as it turns out, it wasn't as tough as the traditional one. So sometimes you experiment and you learn more through the failure than you do the success. And that's what happened with one of our large experiments. And for any taxpayers out there, your grandparents are upset. The city spent a bunch of money on solar panels. it was the federal government that was the funding partner and helped us with that experiment. So those are some of the things that we are doing with solar power. Of course, there's a lot more that we could talk about, and that's another thing, again, that Sarah has to do is try to keep my answers short. So if you want to learn more, please feel free to give us a call always at City Hall at 871-5159, or email me at mayor@cityofpsl.com, right? It's pretty straightforward. I'm the mayor. I'm at the City of PSL, and that's mayor@cityofpsl.com. Thanks, buddy.
Thank you so much, Gabrielle. We appreciate it. Thank you again, Mayor Gregory Oravec, for coming, and appreciate your time. Southport Middle School, we're going to close this out. Appreciate Miss Stevens' class. Miss Stevens, you did a fantastic job of pushing your students to send us all these videos. We really appreciate it. We wish we could answer every single one of them, but time constraints. Again, if you have any follow-up questions, please feel free to reach out to myself, Melissa Eunice, who's been coordinating through Lydia Martin. Again, thank you, Lydia Martin, for everything you've done. And we are here for you, and we'd like to educate you further. Appreciate your time. Thanks again. Bye.